Hello, everyone, and thanks for coming to the Thanks for Cummins podcast. My guest that I have with me today is very funny, very talented. She's here and she's queer, Emily Burhani.
Hi, yes, I am queer and I am here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah. So who are you? A little brief description. Go ahead.
Oh God. I am like you said, queer. I am an actor, an aspiring comedian, if you will.
Do you care which one you're more so? Actor or comedian?
I'm definitely more, I would say, of a comedian. Like, my aspirations and my career path, if you will, I would like to just stand up on a stage and just tell jokes, really.
Yeah, me too. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be awesome.
But like, you also want to act then?
Yeah, I totally would. Like, I just made this little short film with my friends just for fun when I went home on break, and it wasn't comical necessarily. So it ended up having like funny parts because we're crackheads, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like a funny thing. But that was really fun, and I would love to keep doing stuff like that. Like,
you plan to make sketches and other videos in the future, right?
yeah, that's the plan. So I just got a camera, which is really exciting. And so I'm trying to, figure it out because it's, takes a lot of work to figure it out. But yeah, I would like to start making sketches and filming more things.
Have you had a lot of experience with editing? I know I, so far, am very bad at it, and it's probably my least favorite part of this whole creative endeavors that we're doing.
Yeah, I haven't had much experience, and honestly, I suck at it. But I was just editing something this morning, and it's turning out pretty cool. It's really hard, though.
Yeah.
Like, people who have degrees in this and stuff and do this all the time, their brain is full of so much information that my brain doesn't have the capacity to hold that much at that given time.
I completely feel you. I'm the same way.
I'll learn how to do something and then I'll have it down because I just did it, but then I'll need to edit something the same way again, and the last hour I spent learning is out the window.
Yeah. And like, I'll do something where I'll like try and like look up, okay, I'm trying to like put in a picture or edit audio. How do I do that? And then I'll try it and then I'll fuck up everything and I'll have to start all over in the process. Very frustrating. I wish I had a producer, but I'm poor.
But yeah, poorness.
Yeah,
my friend Sage is much more equipped to do these fancy technological doodads. See, that right there?
Yeah.
Technological doodads? Nobody who knows how to edit says those types of things.
Yeah. They refer to like programs and stuff, and that's all just like Yahoo nonsense.
You had Mac on, and Mac has said stuff to me before about how he doesn't know how to edit, but even he would never say anything like technological doodad.
No. He's a bit more technical than you and me.
He has the capacity for those types of things to like really stick onto them.
But so you said your friend Sage is very technologically equipped. Would you say basically all your friends are somewhat involved in the creative sector, or just most of them?
I would say basically all of them. I think the only one I'm thinking of right now that isn't is my friend Chris. And even he did musical theater in high school because he's a big gay. So
yeah,
he's like a science, got like a 36 on his ACT.
Oh yeah, smarty pants.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, they'll have a much more likely future of getting paid well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say out of my friends that are gonna get some money, it goes like Chris, and then Sage, and then this guy named Soren. Oh, Soren's another friend. He's the only, Chris and Soren are the only ones who don't do like, but he's a photographer, so I guess he kind of does.
Yeah, that's pretty artsy.
Yeah.
It's different. It's definitely like one of the most technical artsy things you can do.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Like pictures and drawing and painting, it's all in like the section of creative stuff that I don't like to do and I'm not good at.
No.
Yeah. So it's very similar to me.
Yeah. I was surprised by some of this footage that we got from this project we were working on this week. Well, the footage that I shot, I was surprised by. All the other stuff, I was not surprised by.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it'll be cool. We don't have a title for it yet. I would tell you guys to be on the looks for it, but we don't know what it's fucking called. So look out for something that you don't know what it's called. Look out for that.
All right. I'm sure everyone will be stalking you, Sage's, and Fiona's social medias, waiting for it in anticipation.
Oh, I'm sure they are as we speak.
Do you think once this comes out that your mom, Heather, will watch it? The podcast and the video, of course.
Oh, yeah. I think both, honestly.
Both?
She is so funny. My mom, for those who don't know Heather McGee, she's a riot. We were filming in my house mostly, and she was like, "Can I watch?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure, you can watch. You might not have that much fun, but yeah, go ahead." And then she would stand there like this, like, woo, like really excited.
Yeah,
and
I bet she had a lot of fun.
But then she would like walk away right away. Can I watch? Get excited, walk away. Doesn't want to really watch.
Interesting. She just wants to be around.
Yeah, she just wants to be around.
Yeah, I feel that. Heather seems like a blast. I can't wait to hang out with her more someday.
Oh, yeah. She's a riot.
She has her own business, right? Sockrams?
Yes, Sockrams is her little business that she has. It's a small online business. Look it up. www.sockrams.com.
Yeah.
It sounds like what it is. She sells socks. They're cute. It's mostly for like old grannies who want to get their like grandson something.
Well, my grandmother messaged me on Facebook and said that she listened to the podcast. So hey, Grandma, maybe you can get yourself some nice granny socks from Heather McGee.
It's just for you.
Yeah, it's great.
But the other day, my mom, she likes to donate stuff, especially since quarantine started. She's been on like an organization kick, you know? So we went over to Sockrams to clean, and she fills up a box of socks, and she's like, "Emily, I need you to take this to Goodwill." I'm like, "Mom, why? Why are you getting rid of these? You sell these in your business." And she's like, "You know what? You're right. I'm just gonna sell them." And I was like, "Yeah, why would you donate these, you crazy person?" She's on some weird kicks lately. Her and my girlfriend Kayla made bagels together from scratch.
Like the dough and everything?
The dough and everything.
Wow.
They put like rosemary and thyme and garlic and poblano peppers in them. I was like, "What the hell are you guys doing?"
Did it taste good?
Oh yeah, it was surprisingly good.
Nice.
I shouldn't say that. It was really good.
Surprisingly good. Is your mom a good cook otherwise?
Yeah, she's a good cook. She's
It's okay to lie.
No, she's a great cook. Mother, you're a great cook. You're not a bad cook. You make great things. I'm a vegetarian though, and actually I was just talking to Kayla about this today because Kayla has this thing, and she says that if you're a hunter, she's fine with hunting, but if you hunt with guns or really anything that isn't a spear and like a longbow, not like a crossbow, it has to be a longbow.
A longbow.
It has to be hard. It has to take real strength. She thinks you're a pussy bitch and that you just shouldn't do it. And I said, Kayla, you cannot mention this to my family. Them's is hunters. They won't like to hear that.
They don't ever like hunt with a bow? Like, I know that's a big thing, bow hunting.
My uncle does. My uncle knows how to like hunt with basically anything, but not like he does all that. I mean, I don't think he's like formally trained in spear hunting, but like.
So he definitely takes some offense to it.
Oh, yeah. Like, my family, I was like, Kayla, my family eats meat. We are the only vegetarians here. They may have even killed the meat they're eating. Like, you need to chill out. You need to leave the spear talk for at home.
Never mind. I was going to talk about, no, we'll talk about it. So if you weren't a hunter, but like you raised chickens and you want to eat the chicken, what do you think Kayla would say about how to ethically kill this chicken? Or would she just say, wait until it dies naturally?
No, see, she wouldn't think that. I think that Kayla, and me, this is really fucked up. I'm not saying like, fuck the animals, I don't give a shit about you slaughtering them, do it ruthlessly. That's not what I'm saying. But me as a vegetarian, that's not my initial reason for doing it. I just don't, I'm honestly a bad cook. If I were preparing myself meat, I'm positive I might give myself food poisoning. So like, that's why I don't do it. And so now we just don't buy meat because it's expensive too. So
yeah,
we don't do it. Kayla would like to like live on a farm and like grow her own food. And I'm sure if we had chickens, she'd want to eat them maybe. I'd like to start eating fish again, but not in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Where they're lying to you.
What
you know what? Where does the fresh fish come from? Where? Aiden, where are they catching fish?
I don't think they catch them in, like, to my knowledge, the fresh fish is somehow flown in with like.
No, that's not fresh. That's not fresh. That's like some all natural bullshit. They're lying. It's made up. No.
Well, I mean, aren't there fish farms just like weird places where they just have water and there's just fish in there?
Yeah, and I don't really like to think about that.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I would like to think that eating fish, like in Wisconsin, like for example, where I'm from, the fish is maybe, in my mind, caught in Lake Michigan.
Yeah. Do you know what sort of fish are in Lake Michigan?
Like cod and salmon. There's salmon. People don't know there's salmon, but there is.
That's pretty cool. Salmon's great.
People, but like the fishermen know that. They're not just like surprised when they catch a salmon, but
that would be funny.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? My dad used to fish off the end of our sailboat, which isn't something people normally do. And all of the fishermen, like on their fishing boats, would see that and be like, what the hell?
You have a lot of experience with boats, right?
Yeah, I would say. I grew up in Wisconsin, so I didn't live on a boat year round because I can't stay in the water year round. But in the summer, when it would be in the water, we would stay on that motherfucker and not
all summer.
Mostly, we would leave for trips and be gone for at like a month on end straight.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really fun.
Was it a roomy boat then? Like you had a kitchen and everything, right?
Yeah, I would say it was a roomy boat. It was about it, so it was like a 40-foot Jeanneau, but it was really like 45 and some change.
Hmm. I have no idea what that means.
Jeanneau is a type of like it's like a boat brand.
Oh, is it the best boat brand?
Oh yeah.
No.
No. No. There's all types of boats. There's all types of makers of boats.
Mm-hmm.
They're all good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think. I would hope.
You don't know of any boat company where everyone's like, hey, don't get those boats. They're bad boats.
Yeah, there's car companies like that, right?
I think so.
Like who's a maker of cars and I think like Kia's everybody's like, I don't know. Maybe don't get it.
Well, I don't know. There's some like I think Toyotas, it's like they last kind of long, but repairing's very expensive.
Yep, car stuff.
Yeah.
I know about it.
You do?
Oh yeah.
My grandpa knew a lot about cars and taught mechanics for a while, and I don't know anything. So there's always some sort of disappointment there whenever we're working on cars.
Yeah, I always message Noah Albee, a friend of ours, hit him up. Got car questions. That's what I do every single time. He's probably annoyed with me. I did it the other day when James was having car trouble. I hit him up, and I probably do this maybe like every couple months, if not every month.
Mm-hmm.
Hit him up on Snapchat like, hey, I got a car question for you. He's probably like, Emily, I don't fucking know. I don't know.
That's funny. I have a friend named Brooke, and I do somewhat of the same thing sometimes. And he doesn't know anything. Well, like he does, but like usually it's like, he's still going to college for it. He doesn't really know, but I act like he's the authority.
He's got the car knowledge.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, but I'm mistaken most of the time.
That's valid.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Brooke. Love you, buddy.
Shout out to the car friends.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I wish I could just like travel in a boat all the time instead of a car. I'm pretty sick and tired of cars, I'll be honest.
Yeah, Kayla's got this idea for a car,
and
it's it will not work. She wants it to be like circular, like or like spherical, if you will, and wants it to work like a ballpoint pen. So it can roll in all directions.
So she wants like a motorized hamster wheel.
That's exactly what she wants.
I mean,
she thinks that's gonna solve so many problems with like accidents, and I just don't understand how that's. I don't understand.
Yeah, me either. I mean, like I get sort of like I can see how there might not be damage to the spheres if you make them correctly, but I don't know, like, if you're a person in the sphere and you're going fast and you hit something, how do, like, you not just get jostled up all over and, like...
And this is what the questions I have, and these are the questions she can't seem to answer for me. And so it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I'm sure. Kayla might be able to figure out.
Yeah.
She's a smart person.
Fuck yeah.
Let's see here. You have a knack for giving nicknames to people. What are some of the favorite nicknames you've ever given?
I think my favorite nickname of all is Bear Claw. It's not necessarily original whatsoever, but I guess the story behind it is there's this New Girl character, if you're familiar with New Girl, and his name's Bear Claw, and my friend Bear Claw looks just like him. And so it was freshman year of college, we were moving into the dorms, I think we met on the stairs, and I was like, oh my gosh, you look just like Bear Claw. I'm gonna call you Bear Claw. we ended up hitting it off and becoming really good friends, and everybody in our building ended up calling him Bear Claw. So now I feel like people who will know him for the rest of his life like met him as Bear Claw. And so his name's Jacob. Not Bear Claw. But yeah, that's a good one. Bear Claw. People, I also didn't give my friend this nickname, but my friend Haley gave him this nickname. His name is Nathan. We call him Freedom. And it was in high school. It was his first show, and all of like the theater kids were gathered in a group, and we forgot his name, and somebody said, "What's his name again?" And my friend Haley she doesn't have Tourette syndrome, but she says things like she has Tourette syndrome all the time. And she does it in this voice. And she was like, his name is Freedom Man. And we just all thought that was really funny. So we called him Freedom. And I ended up introducing him to some friends. And they call him Nathan most of the time now. I don't think everybody calls him Freedom anymore. But for a long time, everybody called him Freedom.
That's a great nickname, though.
It's a great nickname. Like, your name is Freedom? No, my name's Nathan.
I wish my nickname that you guys have given me has been as cool as Freedom.
Oh, yeah, your nickname is a great one. I also sadly didn't originally bestow upon you the original one. That was Raimi, Olivia Washington, which let's just give her a shout out now.
Shout out to Raimi, yeah. I plan to hopefully maybe have her on the podcast someday.
You should have the whole house on the podcast.
I'd love to.
Maybe we should do a house-wide podcast.
That could maybe work.
That's also sounds like worldwide, but that's not what I meant. Like,
yeah, we're not getting Pitbull.
No. Shout out to his New Year's Eve performance.
I don't know if that deserves a shout out.
But yeah, no, yours. My favorite because your nickname has had a lot of evolution.
Yeah.
And the most recent one is Gay L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
Which I really like.
And sometimes shortened to Gelron.
Yeah, Gelron Hubbard.
Yeah.
Just because we call you Gaiden.
Yeah.
So Gay Gelron Hubbard. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense once you see the overall evolution of it. It reminds me of your mom giving a nickname. I forget his actual name.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Charlie, yes. Actually, this was just a big thing on Facebook because it was his birthday. And yeah, my mom is also, me and my mom could not be more similar. But we both give we both give people a lot of nicknames. And I had a friend throughout like all of my childhood named Charlie, and my mom would call him Charles Barkley. And then it changed to Charles Sparkly, and then it was just Sparkly, and then it was just Sparkles, and then it was Sparkly Sparkles. And
yeah. Well, it seems like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. That lady.
So did your mother put you in theater first, or did you ask to be involved in theater?
I had a lot of friends who did theater. My best friend growing up, his whole family did theater, and like in Kenosha, Wisconsin, like Bradford Theater is like the shit.
Yeah.
So like when I was a kid, I looked up to his sisters a lot. And then I just started doing theater because all of my friends did it. And I started doing it in like the 6th grade, I think. At CTA, another shout out to CTA.
did you have a knack for it right away, or did you just like doing it because all your friends did it and you stuck with it?
I wanted to do it before my friends even started doing it because I have always been a goofy kid, like a class clown, if you will. So I liked the idea of getting to go up in front of a bunch of people and like do something silly. That sounded great to me.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking to Kayla about how I was in The Music Man, and it was one of the first shows I ever did. And you know how in children's theater there'd be like a song the whole ensemble sings, but like instead of that, we're gonna break it up to give you your shining moment. My shining moment was in the Wells Fargo Wagon song, and I got to sing "Or Double Boiler."
That's a great.
And that was my shining moment, and I will never forget it.
You haven't had any other big shining moments?
No, I have, but that one was very important.
I see.
You don't seem to understand, but it's fine.
I mean, like I have never loved being in that position. I did a lot of musicals when I was a kid, and like the songs were never my favorite part. I loved the jokes. Dancing was a bit more fun sometime, but like I wasn't great at it.
See, that's where I was like, no, this is some bullshit. Like the dancing, I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Weirdly enough, I actually think, now that I'm really thinking about it, some of the most fun I would have is like, oh, I forget, like the background action, like just like sweeping or like washing a cup or something.
Dude, oh hell yeah. And then I think back like now, and I must have been being so loud in the background, like thinking it's the most important part of the scene. Like just like the background action, and like these kids in the background are having full-fledged, full voice conversations in the background, like, hey guys, wanna go get pizza after the show tonight? Like maybe we can get ice cream. Like that was totally me in the background.
And I also learned pretty early on that the audience will love it if you're a background character and like react like those office moments where you're just kind of like, are you seeing this stuff? I loved it from an early age, and I always will try and throw it in to a performance if I can.
Oh, you know what? I can tell. I'm thinking back to Much Ado, and I'm like, yeah, Aiden, yeah,
yeah. I mean, like, there's nothing worse. I mean, like, no, I guess there's other worse things, but I hate looking at an ensemble and like they're just throwing focus, but like nothing more. They're not like in the scene. Just looking at it.
You mean the rapper bridegroom? I mean, what? What do you mean? What?
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see it.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Boycott.
If there was a show to boycott, it would be that one.
Yeah, it would be that one.
I think. Were there other worse ones? I don't think so. Not in my time. Like, I know Cabaret's about like Nazis, but I don't know anything about it.
That's like tastefully about Nazis. It's not like musical comedy about like domestic violence.
Yeah, featuring minor blackface.
Yeah, featuring yeah, no, that's bad.
Yeah. Woo!
The Robber Bridegroom.
Yeah, what a play. Yeah, so where you also have been interested in improv, of course. Would you say that stemmed from theater directly, or just part of your personality? You were destined to love it, you think?
That's such a good question. Oh my gosh, I guess I've never thought about it like that. Huh. I don't think I would have ended up doing, and if I did end up doing improv, I may have not gotten like super into it. Just tried it out for fun, maybe if I wasn't in theater. But so I would say that doing theater from a young age sparked interest in a different way. But yeah, I think doing improv for me made me such a more confident human being in just general interactions.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what improv is. It's just doing it in front of people, but in like a certain context.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it a lot less frightening if you think about it that way.
Yeah. I haven't thought about it, but like, I get what you mean. From what I've seen, just like talking to like all the different theater people, it seems that just improv is always some sort of just like pastime activity in theater.
Right.
Yeah. And so being close to Chicago and the second city, I would imagine that it can be even more fun. And like you seem to know more about like some of the technical stuff than I do. For instance, like there's what's the name of the game that you know?
There's so many. There's everybody calls all these. See, that's what I've learned too. Is like I'll throw people shade. Like, will you call it that? No, like it's kind of like bubbler and drinking fountain. Like everybody calls it something different.
I don't know if everyone calls it a bubbler. I think that's just Wisconsin.
Okay, fuck you. No, okay. I've had enough of this. I have been told too many times since coming to Nebraska, me and Jimmy Coleman have trauma over people telling us we say bag weird. I'm over it. I will not be called out for my Wisconsin accent anymore. Yes, I said it. Wisconsin.
Power to you, man. I don't think you have that thick of a Wisconsin accent.
Oh, tell that to Joan Cordy.
Yeah. Oh man. There's some things I say. Theater. Joan hates that, apparently. It's apparently supposed to be pronounced theater. I just do the eater.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
James says theater.
Yeah. I asked her about that, and she said that's the worst one of all. Theater.
Theater is the worst one.
Yeah. I was watching a podcast today, and the podcast host didn't know that they said one, like I won a game wrong. They say wan instead of one. It's like
I won a game.
Yeah, I won a game. Like the want, they say it like want, but won. Yeah, it's weird. People are weird, man.
Yeah, people are weird. Yeah, people say all types of weird things, don't they?
Do you have a favorite dialect?
A favorite dialect? I think maybe well, I like that Australians like say so many vowels at once somehow. Like,
how do you mean?
Gosh.
Explain it to the non-dialect proficient people, at least.
Like diphthongs, like two sounds at once, or two like, vowel sounds at once, especially. They do that all the time and more. So I don't know the official word for it. It's blanking my mind, but they'll say like 3 vowel sounds, one right after the other, that's supposed to be creating essentially one sound. Like hello, like they do like weird shit. Like there's 5 different vowels there, and they combined sound like an R. You weirdo. Like that shit's weird.
The swamp dialect has that too, doesn't it?
Oh, I have a particular fondness for that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You did a whole presentation on it, didn't you?
I did. I picked it as a joke because that's who I am as a human being. of course, I would pick like my final presentation for a collegiate course to be swamp people.
Mhm.
But it ended up being a lot more work than I had anticipated.
Mhm.
Um, Not bargained for, but just anticipated. And because, you know, there's so many dialect acquisitions on Australian, for example, but
Mhm.
in comparison, there's zero for swamp people.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's not their official like name, but
Yeah.
like, you know, the the Cajuns,
Mhm.
they have so many different influences too. It's so interesting.
Yeah. I love their culture. So, what sort of medias and whatnot did you look at to get a read on the accent?
I watched probably days worth of the Swamp People History Channel show,
Mhm.
and I love that man so much. If you look on my YouTube, you'll find my video, unless I changed it to have it unlisted now. But I made a video and it has IPA, not beer, but like the International Phonetic Alphabet, it has it transcribed.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting. They say such weird things. Like alligator. Like they put like book, like they
Mhm.
put that at the end of every word ever.
Hmm.
Like like alligator, for example.
Mhm.
Like they're not saying alligator, they're saying alligator.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing? I love that. I love it.
Mhm.
The
So
swamp.
interesting. I want to go there someday. Seems fun. The
Oh,
environment
I
and the
would love.
food.
There needs to be more swamp plays and swamp media.
Mhm. In video games recently, I've been seeing more and more like video games like use the swamp setting, and I'm really glad because I swear to God, for years, it like a lot of video games had too much in like snowy areas, and there's a variety of reasons why that's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm acting like I'm a video game expert, but I'm mostly just excited about
yeah,
swamp media.
uh-huh.
We
It's
need
great.
we need more.
Hmm.
We've been wanting to write a swamp play for the longest time.
I know, but it's hard to think of an idea that is not exactly offensive to the swamp people because we don't want to make fun of them, even though they are kind of funny sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're hysterical, but
Uh-huh.
that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. Uh, let's talk about news, I guess. What's going on? Uh,
Shoot.
yeah,
There's a
a lot going on. Trump got impeached. I don't know if that'll do anything though.
I have seen a lot of people saying that it's gonna affect not really anything now, but it's gonna affect stuff for him after the fact.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he won't have security detail and he won't get paid,
Hmm.
supposedly.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, like fuck your security detail. I want you to feel unsafe.
I don't think they even do a good job all the time. Like I saw one of like there was a very zoomed in picture of like this random guy found where Trump was going to be golfing for the weekend and like went like a mile away and took a camera and zoomed in really far and found him and took a picture of him. And so like I mean like what if that was a sniper rifle? You could have just
For real.
yeah. So maybe they don't even do a good job in the first place. I don't know.
Maybe it would have been harder to take a big sniper wherever that man was. Like maybe he was up in a tree, and
Maybe.
maybe he's not skilled enough to haul a sniper up a tree, but for whatever reason is skilled enough to haul a camera up a tree.
Yeah, I'm sure it's lighter.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've never been able to climb a tree. It's actually pretty sad.
Never in your life?
I've had terrible upper body strength.
You've never even found a tree that doesn't require upper body strength?
I mean, like, I don't count that then. Like, if I can just step into the tree, like, I did no climbing. I took a step.
And then you didn't climb any further.
Well, I couldn't,
Oh,
usually.
no.
Like, sometimes I would try, but I fell a lot.
I have a feeling that there's no possible way I could hold more upper body strength than you.
I mean, I think it's because for, like, the lower half of me is pretty damn heavy. And it used to be heavier when I was fatter. So, and that was, like, all throughout childhood. I wasn't, like, obese by any means, but I definitely had more weight than my arms could pull up. Like, I've never been able to do a pull-up. The monkey bars has always been a nightmare for me.
Yeah, monkey bars are a nightmare, aren't they?
Yeah. They're no fun. And in elementary school, there is this one part of like the recess place where there's these higher levels, and the only way you could get to them is through the monkey bars. Or like climbing and like having someone pull you up. And no one wanted to pull me up, so I could never hang out there.
Fucked up.
I know.
I'm so sorry you were ostracized as a child.
You know, some people would say I should have just gotten stronger, but I was lazy, and I didn't want to do that.
Fuck the bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck what they say.
Yeah, who needs them, right?
I'm sure that's what Trump is feeling right now, too.
Fuck the bitches?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, he's doing that.
I mean, to be fair, I think he's probably mostly thinking that about most things.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's talked to Mike Pence, like, ever since the whole riots and Capitol stuff?
I wonder if they've, like, accidentally, like, bumped into each other somewhere and it was just really awkward.
Mm-hmm. I bet. Mike Pence tries to say hello and, like, catches up, and Donald's just upset.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know what'll come of that family.
Oh, that family is made up. They're not a real family.
Yeah, you don't, how do you mean?
They don't care about each other.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think they might financially, because I think they're all, like, somehow linked financially, but I don't know if there's any love there.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a cold relationship they share.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if Donald Trump Jr. will stay around, though, because he's acting like he's trying to stay around in the political realm. But, like, I don't think he has many friends. And he very obviously has some sort of cocaine problem.
Maybe what we should be worrying about is not, like, taking care of Donald Trump, but, like, taking care of his, like, spawns.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he'll probably die, like, very soon. He's not in great health. And so, I mean, like, what's the youngest one? Barron? He's got to be a kind of a fucked up kid after all this.
Yeah. I think they're just fucked up people, period.
Yeah. That's very fair.
They've experienced something that made them fucked up people. I don't fucking know what it was, but it was not good, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's weird, man. But I have seen that along with the impeachment, there are some of the like Congress people that were dicey at best in their role in the riots, that they might be taken out of their office position with like the 14th Amendment.
So they should be arrested.
Yeah. At least like Ted Cruz and Holly, like they were very bad and instigated a lot of stuff and just played it off casually, like, oh, we'll go back to normal. We didn't do anything wrong.
No, you don't get to do that. You took place in the most significant terrorist attack on our country since 9/11 that was completely domestic.
Mm-hmm.
We're bad.
Yeah. I really wish, though, that I could talk to Mitt Romney, because I read a thing where he was just yelling at all these Republican senators and congresspeople that this is your fault. This is directly because of you guys. It sounds like a fun time in the Capitol right now.
I mean, I guess.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I've always played with the idea of what I would do as a politician. I don't think I'd be a good one. I'd probably get canceled.
Yeah, but to be fair, like all of them do by somebody.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, I might take it too far. Like, I might assault another congressperson, which I've been told is bad.
Yeah, I've heard that that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that assaulting Congress members leads to arrest, but you know.
And I'm not saying like I would punch them in the face, but like if they were in spitting distance, I don't know if I could hold myself back. Like, I'm a very good and accurate spitter.
Aiden, you can't spit on people right now.
Yeah, well, I haven't done it in a long time, but like I had a lot of practice during childhood.
Well, there you go. Were you spitting at those kids who were leaving you behind at the monkey bars?
No.
Yeah, that sounds like a lie.
I don't think I ever spit at them. But there was this place called Star City Shores, which is like a pool, and there's these really tall slides. And what I would do is on the stairs to the slides, I would spit on people.
No.
Yeah, it was gross. But I did it with my friend Will, and oh boy, some of the reactions were funny. Because they see you, and they see you on the steps, but they can't get to you because you're about to go down a slide where you can just hide in the very crowded pool afterwards.
Dude, and this is why I don't, like, how are you supposed to, like, because kids are going to just do that. How are you supposed to tell kids, like, there's a pandemic, so you can't do that? Like, what? I'm going to take my mask off. I'm going to spit on some kid. I don't care.
Like, I don't see how any kid can ever resist the old, I'm using the force trick where they lick their hand and then, like, put it, that's a classic right there.
That really is.
One of the classic things that I saw a lot in my elementary school, it was a whole process. You were told to first think of an ice cream flavor. Then you're supposed to scratch your hand. And then you smell your hand, and then someone hits your hand into your nose.
No. That's fucked up.
It was brutal.
The old scratch and sniff trick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that to people.
You should. Do it to Caden.
Yeah, because I like to do a lot of childhood things. Like, I like to spread rumors about my friends to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really do like saying something and be like, spread that around. Just spread that around. Yeah. It's fun.
It is really classic. Like, just spread rumors about your friends. It'll be hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Not like terrible ones, like this person got an abortion, but like...
No. But like, this person has rabies. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Very hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
rabies.
I guess that was the news. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can talk about aliens if you want.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Talk what's new in the alien realm?
Oh gosh. Where do I begin? Okay. So the aliens are amongst us, and they've been amongst us for a while now. I guess that's a great place to start.
Okay.
There's this, okay, so me and Kayla have been calling it the space peen, but it's really just like a big long rock that this Harvard scientist believes that it's taking this technology, because so the rock is like 10 times longer than it is wide, which isn't something that naturally forms in space, and if it does, it gets broken up into bits. So there's that. Then there's the fact that it's like super close to the sun, and that's how they found it. It's so close to the sun that it should be getting sucked up into the sun, but it's not, and that's not possible unless something's making it that way, aka like technology.
Yeah, propulsion of some kind.
Yeah, something, some like extraterrestrial, if you will, had to make it that way. It doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
But so there's that. So they think that it's a UFO, for lack of a better word, because of that. Then so I went home to Wisconsin, and I was telling this to my best friend Sean. He was like, "Oh my God, Bob Lazar, Bob Lazar, Bob Lazar," and I was like, "What the fuck are you saying?" Bob Lazar is this man. Lazar.
It's Lazar.
Okay, Bob Lazar is this man who like has made all of these whack job accusations about Area 51 in the 80s. And he's been like, proven to have just not be just a crazy person. And he claims that that on Earth for years now, there are these orbs that create gravity, right? You can look up Bob Lazar. I'm not going to talk about this whole thing, but like, if you're interested, go look it up. He has a podcast with Joe Rogan. It's 2 hours long. Listen to it. So essentially the technology he's talking about is the technology it would take for this space rock to do that. And it also means that we've known about interstellar travel and not being capable of doing it ourselves, but have known about aliens doing it in flying saucers, which sounds crazy, but it's true. We've known about it since at least the 80s, because Bob Lazar's ballsy. We got lucky because in the 80s, Bob Lazar was feeling ballsy, and that's why we know about this. But then in the stimulus thing they just passed, there's like a clause in it that says the US government has to release the information they have on the UFOs and all the information Bob Lazar talked about and everybody thought he was crazy for. Like, they have to release it. So he's not lying. And like, it also makes me laugh because a bunch of people in our government got together to talk about families being poor and sick, and somebody in the group was just like, no. I know that there are dying poor people out there right now, but what they need to know is the aliens. They don't need money or help or healthcare. They need to know about the aliens.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, okay, yeah, but that guy's right. That guy's right.
Yeah. They were like, the relief money could help, but the real relief would be knowing about the aliens right now.
Right. And like, we're going to argue to the ends of the earth about how much money we're going to give you, but we're going to give no argument over this alien shit. This alien shit, everybody agreed. Because wouldn't we have heard about, they're arguing about $600, $2,000, the COVID relief, and they're arguing about the aliens.
Yeah.
No, nobody had any qualms.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I would imagine if a politician was like, hey, I don't think we should tell the public about the aliens, I don't think that politician would have a job for much longer.
Then there's this guy in Israel who's like the president of Israeli space endeavors, claiming that President Trump has been told by the aliens that he can't tell anybody about us. You gotta keep it secret, Trump. We're gonna hook up with you. We're gonna make Elon the richest man, and then we're heading to Mars so that we can enslave the humans. And the guy in Israel's trying to warn everybody. And he isn't a crazy person.
Yeah.
I don't personally know his life's history, but I don't think he has a history with mental illness and
Mhm.
coming into the public about like he has nothing to gain from
Yeah.
acting like a crackhead about aliens to the
Mhm.
world.
He has to be like well enough to at least get and hold a government job.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, apparently you don't have to be that well to do that.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So, would you say you are anti Elon Musk taking people to Mars? You don't trust it?
No.
Me either.
I was telling you this the other day, Aiden, but
Mhm.
I would like to be a kindergarten teacher
Uh-huh.
that tells a class full of students that they can be an astronaut. But I
Mhm.
do not want to be the kindergarten teacher that tells a class full of students that they have to be astronauts.
Mhm.
No, I will not make a bunch of tiny people strap a big suit on their body and live in space.
Mhm.
That's not it.
Yeah.
And anybody who thinks it's it is crazy. Elon Musk put this thing out about how because everybody was like, wait, but Elon, what about the poor people? We can't take them to Mars if they can't afford it.
Mhm.
And he was like, oh, yeah, you'll just take loans out, poor people, and work them off with labor. And so, first of all, anybody who's against like any like conservatives who always jump on the that's communism,
Mhm.
that's communism, okay? Like,
Uh-huh.
are you have a problem with it, or do you not have a problem with it? You speak up now or forever hold your peace.
Mhm.
Second of all, like he wants to throw a nuke at Mars to
Mhm.
like start its whatever the fuck. And so then all these workers are going to be working
Mhm.
in like radioactive whatever,
Mhm.
and in on Mars they're going to be doing the work on Mars that nobody else wants to be doing and that nobody, including them, are trained to do.
Yeah.
Like, how are we supposed to train a bunch of poor people who don't even have enough money to go to Mars? How are we going to pay for training to train them what Mars is like? We don't even know what Mars is. What are we doing?
Yeah.
We can't go to Mars. We cannot all go to Mars. And so I'm not saying like no Mars for anybody.
Mhm.
People can go to Mars if they really feel like it, but
Mhm.
not everybody can. And we need to stop acting like everybody can. We
Yeah.
need to take that money and fix the actual planet we already live on.
Mhm. We have
are-
so many problems still here, though. We shouldn't just pack up everything and just leave without figuring out ways to fix the problems. Because it's not like the problems we created on Earth aren't going to not happen on Mars. It'll probably happen, if not be worse.
Right. And oh, we cannot do this. We need
Yeah.
to stay here. And we need to have a lantern lighting and release the space orbs that have been in Area 51 since the 80s or longer.
Mhm.
We don't need to create gravity. We don't need that. We have resources and ways to fix the problems. We just refuse to do them.
Mhm.
And we don't need space orbs. We need
Although,
them.
what if we could what if we found a way where we no longer needed oil or stuff like that, but we had to keep the space orbs and use them and harness them? Would you be pro or against that?
I'd be pro that, but I feel like we could already, with things that we already know about, get rid of oil. We just refuse to do it.
Yeah, the oil companies, they just refuse to die.
Yeah, they're Satan.
Mhm. Arguably, like, the worst industry in capitalism is the oil people.
Yeah, I would say that is the argument I might take, even arguably.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what else would be worse. Like, I mean, sometimes healthcare can get pretty shady, but like they do a good thing.
Yeah. that's like they don't do it well, but I'm not like, because my argument isn't get rid of healthcare, it's make it better. Where
Yeah.
my argument is get rid of oil, don't make oil better.
Yeah. There's nothing better to be done about it. Just like cut it out.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you're here with the oil thing, like you've gone upwards, like now you need to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we need to have a lantern lighting for the space orbs.
That would be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Maybe we can keep one of them, but we don't need to keep looking at it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think America should have it. Give it to a less war-hungry nation. I think Ireland should have it.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ireland should have it.
Like my second
or like
thing would be Germany, but I don't know if we can trust Germany yet. Like they've been doing pretty good, but I don't know.
Dang, you're right. You're right. I don't want to yeah, you're right.
Yeah. No, I think Ireland's good. What has Ireland done that's bad? I don't know.
My knowledge, nothing. But then again, I'm not like an Irish history buff.
Yeah.
You know who is?
Who?
Cousin's fiance.
Really?
Well, I don't know if they're officially engaged, but yeah, they're planning their wedding already. So.
Oh yeah. Are they from Ireland or just like huge into it?
Huge into it. He wrote like his thesis or what the fuck have you on how the Irish were gravely mistreated in some war.
Probably most of them, if I had to guess.
All of them.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, poor Irish people. You've had a rough go in this lot of life.
You have.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been worse, as we've seen with other countries.
We've seen some bad stuff right here in America.
Uh-huh. Yeah. What were we talking about? Aliens? Yeah. So
that's really all I have about the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so silly because like sci-fi movies, but I really do believe that there's aliens that we know about them, that for whatever reason nobody wants to talk about it. There are some things I get not talking about because of mass hysteria, but I just don't think aliens is one of them.
Yeah. I was actually on Reddit. There was a post. It was like this guide to conspiracy theories and the level of like danger it is to believe in them. And the general consensus on that chart was believing in aliens is pretty low, dangerous-wise. But for some reason on that chart, it said that believing in alien abductions was leaving reality territory. And I don't know about that. Like, if you can believe in aliens, and you can think that's, okay, that's reasonable, I can't see how believing in alien abductions is that much unreasonable.
Here's my thing about that.
Yeah.
So, like, believing in aliens is one thing. And because people who believe in aliens, those conspiracy theorists, they have, like, me, for example, like, I'm listening to people like fucking Bob Lazar, who's legit as fuck. But, like, people who are like, an alien abducted me are usually meth heads.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, maybe that's where they're like, you're leaving reality is because you're doing too much meth. But, like, so if aliens have all this technology and Bob Lazar's not lying to us and the guy in Israel is super legit, they would have no reason to want to abduct people unless they're like zoologists.
Yeah.
Like we would serve no purpose to them. We cannot figure out their technology.
Yeah.
And we haven't been able to since the 80s. So we're like chimps on a spaceship to them.
Yeah.
They have no use for us. So these people who are like, the aliens are gonna abduct us and take us, the only reason they would do that is to enslave us. But even then, we probably couldn't do the labor
Yeah.
that they need.
Mhm.
You know, we're not smart enough.
Yeah. Probably not. We'd probably fuck it up, and then they just
And we're too big.
You think we're bigger than the aliens?
Bob Lazar says he thinks the aliens must be 3 feet tall. Like, we might squish them if we're not careful. Like, I don't know. They might just not want to fuck with us.
That'd be funny, especially if like Donald Trump is scared of the aliens if they were much smaller.
Yeah, that's maybe he's scared of them because his hands are the same size as theirs.
Could be, yeah. They can beat him in an arm wrestling match.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I'd be scared of aliens too. Shit, I don't know what they can do to me.
Yeah, I mean, apparently they're fucking smart as fuck, so we just maybe shouldn't.
God, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. It would make sense. Oh, okay. I'll say this and then I'll say something else that I just remembered. It would make sense to me, alien abduction wise, if we were like rats to them and they test their cool new alien drugs on us to make sure it won't kill them. That makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Anyways, so also with conspiracy theories, why do you think it is that each of the most insane conspiracy theories you will ever see, for some reason, is tied to and blames Jewish people for it? Like, I see it like Illuminati, lizard people, elders of Zion. It's like all these things, they're like, it's the Jews. And I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I don't think the Jewish people are that powerful.
I think that has something to do with white supremacy.
You think so?
And just like, because conspiracy theories can start for really legitimate reasons and then they get, telephone gamed really poorly. And then people start to make things up along the lines of them, and I bet a lot of those people are white supremacists, so
yeah,
I'm not surprised. Like, yeah,
and I know like the government has had records of like propagating conspiracy theories and making them seem more outrageous so that people don't look into them as much.
Yeah, that could also really be it.
Like, I'm pretty sure that happened with like MK Ultra, the whole experimenting with acid on people thing. I'm pretty sure there was like in the records, they were like, we're gonna make this seem ridiculous a little bit.
Yeah, that's what they do about the UFOs when they release that information. They make it seem ridiculous or like unintelligible so you can't read it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not reading any of these documents because looking at them, like for somebody, because I'm dyslexic and I can't read anything, and like, so for people who like me, like looking at this, it's like, oh, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. I think we'll close it out with some unpopular opinions from Reddit, the quote-unquote front page of the internet.
Great.
Yeah. So it'll be a fun time. So here's this first one. This one says, money solves most, if not all, problems. Being poor really sucked once I got Being poor really sucked. Once I got a taste of money and the things it can do, I never looked back. I even got an engineering degree so I wouldn't have to struggle again. If I'm sad, I go to therapy. Bored? Shop. Want to support things I love? I throw money at it. Money makes life so much easier. Going to the store not even thinking about price is surreal. There are always people that say money isn't everything or won't solve everything, and look at the countless depressed rich people. And all I have to say is I'd rather be rich and depressed than poor and depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of the unpopular opinions that like, I don't think, like, it's unpopular to, especially American culture and the work ethic, but I think it resonates and it's very true.
Yeah, I would say that is very true. I know some people who it's not even that they're materialistic.
Mm-hmm.
just the stress of debt and being poor,
Mm-hmm.
it adds so much more. Like when you're rich, I always joke around and say that cults are some rich white people shit,
Mm-hmm.
because like rich white people have to go out of their way. Well, white people really have to go out of their way to create strife for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's so true.
Yeah.
You really do. You can be depressed. Depression can happen to anybody, but
Mm-hmm.
like if you're rich and depressed, you will be able to treat your depression. Whereas if you are poor and depressed, you will not, most likely,
Mm-hmm.
and your healthcare will not cover that. And if it does, it will do it poorly, and you'll still be broke, and that'll still be stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And capitalism is a beast. And yeah, man, I definitely think that although that is an unpopular opinion, I think rich people have made that also an unpopular opinion, you
Yeah.
know?
It definitely seems like a bit like not very aggressive class warfare, but it's a little bit of like just class conflict. Like, you don't want to be us. We still have problems. This money, it doesn't fix anything. When really, like, it would fix a lot for a lot of people.
Dude, and especially like putting it like this isn't really the scale at which this person's talking about, but Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bezos, they have enough money. Money doesn't fix everything. They have enough money to fix everything.
Yeah, they
Like,
can literally bend the world to their image with their money if they wanted to.
absolutely. If not the world, most definitely America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Money buys a lot in America. It's fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Like, and people, everybody is in debt. Everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, and that's stressful for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like that.
But also, like, you've said this before, and I know what you mean, and I agree with you, that in a sense, debt isn't real. Like,
Yeah. I do believe that because everybody has it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's so many ways, especially for students and student debt, broke students and young people,
Mm-hmm.
to make their payments literally $0 a month.
Yeah.
Well, then what's happening to you?
Mm-hmm. It's just that, like, that information, the way to do that is very hard to find sometimes if you don't already know how the system works.
Yeah, financial literacy is super important, and this is another example. Like, people aren't taught this,
Mm-hmm.
generally speaking, so debt's even more fake.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's in debt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not real.
All right. Let's do another unpopular opinion. This one might get a little heated. This is an actual unpopular opinion that I don't like.
Okay.
So this one says, just because you flash a sign that is also associated with white power doesn't mean you yourself condone white supremacy. This is directly related to the recent Kyle Rittenhouse BS, they say. He gives the hand symbol that means okay, a very common gesture for photo or conversation. However, this symbol is also associated with white power groups. This doesn't inherently mean you are a white supremacist if you happen to do it. The media is destroying this kid's life and future, and Reddit, Twitter, and other social media are happy to help. Please, let's...
his own life, his own future.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, keep continuing.
There's only one sentence, and the sentence says, please, let's stop this rush to judgment and bring back due process.
Oh my god!
I know. Like, on a surface level, I agree. I don't think anyone who ever does this sign should mean it's white power. But especially in the context when you see the photo. Kyle Rittenhouse was like at a bar, and he's posing with the picture with someone, so someone obviously asked for a picture, and he's doing this symbol. And I'm like, considering the groups that he, like the group chats and whatnot that organized the whole thing he was a part of, and like there's no way he doesn't know that it's a white power symbol, and also that with his recent events that he did, that it would not be taken as a white power symbol. When you kill a black person and murder, I think, one or two others, people are not going to be receptive to it.
No, they're not. And they're going to call you white supremacist because you're a terrorist, and you are one.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, that is so unbelievable. It just shows you, like, those types of people, they don't care about the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about using their brain to decipher what's actually happening. They just want to believe what's comfortable for them, and that's white supremacy.
Yeah.
And like the beginning part of the post, when you hadn't even mentioned Kyle Rittenhouse, it reminded me of, you know, people talking about the Confederate flag being brought into our nation's capital for the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, things like that. Things like, so I do agree about this not being, like, I'm not a white supremacist.
Yeah. Like, I will still do the whole chef's kiss thing, which is, like, basically the, okay, like,
right.
It's okay.
Like, but, like, the Confederate flag is an inherently white supremacist symbol. Mm-hmm. And you cannot argue with me otherwise. I don't.
Like, to my knowledge, it wasn't even the actual, like, main Confederate flag, first of all. Where it came from was very directly a pro-slavery place that were very directly fighting for slavery. And
so, like, you want to argue this shit to me, then go find the original fucking flag and fly it, you fucking moron. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not it. Yeah.
If you want to have Southern pride, throw a barbecue or some shit.
Yeah. Yes! Mm-hmm. Absolutely! Do something amazing like a barbecue. Do not storm the Capitol with a white supremacist flag. Jesus, Lord have mercy on us.
Yeah. It's a good one. Fuck Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse, I will fight you in a cage match someday if you have a problem with this.
I'll gut you like a fish, you bitch.
Oh. Hey, but on the bright side, him taking that picture and flashing that sign, that's, like, I don't remember, it's done something with his court case. They've either opened up new charges to it, or they're just re-looking at it.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to talk at all about Kenosha and all that stuff? Like, you weren't there, of course, but you're from the town and you know how it's affected the town now.
Yeah, it's really, really, really so sad. Mm-hmm. Like, especially with them they're not gonna do anything about the police officers who shot Jacob Blake. Mm-hmm. Which is just tragic, and it's just so fucked up, and they're just making up all these reasons as to why they won't, from like shit that happened 10 years ago. It's just so terrible. Mm-hmm. And Kyle Rittenhouse is an absolute 100%, he's a terrorist. Mm-hmm. Those people were shot 2 blocks away from my house. Mm-hmm. Like, in 3 days of being at my house, or just being around the area where the protests were happening, there were, in a 2-block radius, 3 active shooters. Mm-hmm. That isn't normal or comfortable or anything, and you want to know who all of the active shooters were? No protesters, no rioters, whatever you would like to call them, it was not them. They mm-hmm. were not the people with guns shooting people in the streets. Mm-hmm. So you want to talk about violence, there's some buildings burned down, but what about the people who shot in the streets? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, the buildings are one thing because it wasn't, I could tell it wasn't people from Kenosha because they were burning down things that were in or owned by like black and brown people.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the like part of town where all of, downtown and everything is there, so people just gravitated towards that area. Well, that's where all of the black and brown businesses and people live.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just really, that was really, surprising, but it wasn't necessarily the fucked up part.
Mm-hmm.
The fucked up part were the white supremacists with guns in the street being allowed to do what they were doing.
Yeah. Like, and it's so weird because, like, to my knowledge, most of them there, and like just all across the country when this has happened, like they're all part of some militia or something. And that's like terrifying to me that there are militias that are prepared to counter protest and act as they're protecting a place and just bringing guns and escalating situations and shooting people.
It just, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. And it's so uncomfy to know that stuff was happening down the street from my house. Like, just so fucked up. I can't believe that little shit came into my town and killed some people 2 blocks away from my house and got away with it.
Yeah.
It's so tragic.
And like, I don't want to say exactly he's a kid, but he's a minor. Like,
yeah.
How could a young person decide to do this? Like, none of the friends I ever knew would want to go somewhere and start shit like that.
No, and I think that is, it's alarming because this, especially this year, and specifically Kyle Rittenhouse, has shown me how much of my own bubble I'm in. Because I don't know anybody who would want to do that, but I'm assuming Kyle Rittenhouse doesn't know anybody who wouldn't want to do that. You know what I mean? There's just such disparity in this country between people and their ideologies. People need to get their shit together. Yeah,
it's crazy. And really, really sad and scary.
Yeah. Really fucked up.
So, all right. I don't know if this one will brighten the mood much, but I think it will. I think it should hopefully be fun.
Okay.
All right. So this one says, cemeteries are a waste of space and everyone should be cremated or composed after death. It doesn't make sense to me why we have so many cemeteries, some of which are huge. We could be using that land for homes, businesses, agriculture, etc. Even if a person wants to be buried, there's no need to pour cement into the ground or to bury the body in a casket that won't decompose after a few years. This one's very interesting. I think it's a good point, because I like never really I get the point of a funeral, wanting to see the body for one last time and say your goodbyes and make your peace, but why do we have to like fill that body with chemicals that will make it decompose slower and then put it in a box in the ground? I don't get that.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I personally want to be cremated. I know Kayla, for example, wants to be like put in the dirt, like not in a box, not like, she wants to be put in the dirt.
She wants to decompose and become the dirt.
Yes, that's what she wants, and that's just not for me. I would rather like have my ashes like put somewhere neat. But I definitely agree with this hot take. I've never considered it before, but yeah, like we are wasting that space.
Yeah.
I really agree with that. It's a really good point. You know, then it brings up into question like just rituals and traditions and like religion.
Yeah.
Subsequently. And I think that people should have full freedom to practice their religion, even if it seems a little kooky to some other people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you know, both
Like,
hands.
I don't think cemetery should be outright banned or anything, but
Right.
like, it seems to be the norm when I don't think it has to be the norm exactly.
Was Kayla telling you the other day about this story she was reading where this guy was being followed by a cop? And he took like a turn to see if the cop was really following him,
Mm-hmm.
and the cop followed, and so he was like, oh shit, I'm about to be pulled over. So he pulled into the cemetery. First thing he did was pull into a cemetery, get out of his car, go to a grave, and start praying and bawling, and was like praying to this grave like, I thank you so much, I'm so sorry for doing this to you, I thank you so much, I just needed you. And the cop like saw that, like was like, okay, I'll leave that guy alone. Like, and that's how he got away from the cops, and that's genius.
Yeah.
And so then another part of me is like, I'd like to try that someday.
Yeah. People don't realize that, like, some of the best legal advice you can get is cry in front of a cop.
Yeah.
They usually don't.
I had some experience with that recently. You know, and this is really just, it really only applies to white people, but I was recently in a courthouse where I sobbed, and long story short, I got 145 out of an old officer's wallet. I didn't steal it, he gave it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, he felt bad for you because you were sobbing and a total mess.
Yes. He did.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Very nice of him, but also really funny that he just did that.
Yeah. That. Oh.
Anyways.
Totally would have been arrested if I was not a white woman. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, cops are racist. They like locking up black people.
Yes, they do.
And anyone non-white, not just black people.
Yeah, they just don't. They just only like white people.
Yeah, because they're white supremacists.
Even if they don't know it, they just do.
Although, so back to the death thing. Something I think is really cool and interesting, a fun way to dispose of your body. Hunter S. Thompson, to my knowledge, what he wanted and what happened after his death was he wanted to be cremated, and then he wanted to put his ashes inside of a cannon and have them be shot into the sky. And I think that's a great way. I think we should all go out like that.
That's fucking awesome. And then I would want like some colored powder in there too, like some like rainbow shit for gayness factor. Like just fire that shit off into the air.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool. Another thing that my mom is a big proponent of that I don't think enough people know you can do is when you die, you can just donate your body to science. And that's what she plans on doing. And I might do it too, especially if, like, I die young. Like, sure, have all my organs. I don't care. I'm not using them.
Yeah, for sure. I think, see, and then this is another thing, is like, brings back like religious stuff, is some people don't want to do that or donate their organs for religious reasons, which seems like, you know, goofy to me because I'm not religious, but
yeah. If you think, like, if you donate your liver to someone when you die, you won't go into heaven or be reincarnated. Well, I don't want to stop you from thinking you'll do that. So
right.
Yeah.
I want you to feel comfy after death.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be nice. That's all. That's what, like, everyone should hopefully get to feel is comfy when they're dying. Obviously, it doesn't happen for a lot of people, but.
Yeah, there are some people where I'm like, maybe comfiness isn't for you specifically. Like, I have in mind Kyle Rittenhouse, but like,
But even then, there's also some people that they don't want a peaceful death. Like, I had this history teacher who said, like, if he could choose how he could die, is like when he's getting old, he wants to skydive without a parachute and just go splat on the ground somewhere where it would be okay to go splat on the ground.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not for me.
A masochist.
I think he just he's like some sort of thrill seeker. So he just wanted one last thrill before he goes out.
That's pretty cool. Actually.
Yeah, and it's one hell of a thrill. I tell you what.
It's a little bit insensitive to people who actually died that way on accident, but
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you can find a way to do it safely, like I say, go for it.
Yeah, you know what? Go for it.
Like, I think you can do that into the ocean, no problem. I don't know if you'll die on impact, but I think you will.
My ideal spot to do that would definitely be the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm scared of heights unless it's above water, and I know that doesn't make any sense. I know it doesn't.
But
like above water is way better.
Yeah. I played enough video games where I know if you fall into water, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. Just don't break your neck and drown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Well, what a fun topic for our last unpopular opinion.
Yes. I think that people are weird and they're always going to want to do weird shit like fill their body with chemicals and then place themselves in a cement hole.
Yeah.
Especially Americans.
And like, I also totally get like wanting just a place where you go to like be with your dead people that you knew in life. Like that's obviously very nice and very comforting. But I don't think we necessarily need a cemetery. Like, we don't need to dig shit into the ground or anything to do that.
No.
Yeah.
No. I think, Kayla's dirt thing doesn't sound totally terrible. It's just not for me.
Yeah. But I think, like, I mean, I wonder, this is going to sound really fucked up, but I wonder if mass graves are good for soil.
I bet they are.
You think so?
I bet.
I mean, it would make sense, right? All the decomposition.
I watched just one episode, I think it was of Criminal Minds. No, it was, I don't remember.
Okay.
But anyway, this murderer was it Hannibal? It was something. Anyway, this murderer was like taking the bodies so that they could grow these mushrooms out of them. Because you could only grow them in like super fertilized soil, so they were using human bodies to do that. And it worked. So, I mean, in the show. Movie magic.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if that's a real life thing. Like, maybe. I don't know anything about environmental science.
Apparently there's this Harvard scientist that's making bricks that are like super, super good for whatever the fuck. And they're super strong and they're made out of mushrooms. They're not real bricks. So they're like, so it says they're biodegradable. And I was like, wait, but that's not what you want if you're going to build something. But he's like, that's good.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I bet it would be easy for teardown if it's like...
Could you imagine a world where we all live in mushroom buildings?
I think I can. I think mushrooms, like, it's the way to go. I talked about it with Mac a little bit on the last podcast, but mushrooms are apparently really good at absorbing nuclear radiation. So I think whenever we inevitably have a nuclear war, we'll have to rebuild the environment with mushrooms.
That's what this Harvard scientist is planning for.
Yeah.
Wait, Stanford.
Ah. You think that upsets those people mistaking the different Ivy League schools?
I think that it probably does. I'm really sorry.
Do you know people that go to Ivy League schools?
Do I? No. I know a girl who was the same girl who gave Freedom his name
Mhm.
got accepted into like a fuck ton of them, and then
But
ended up going to Madison.
oh, was it just cheaper?
Yeah, I think so.
Understandable. Those places are ungodly expensive.
They're ungodly. You can just leave it there.
Yeah. I wanted to, like, when I was transferring from Midland, I almost wanted to apply to Yale just for shits and giggles to see if I could tour their campus and their drama department. I didn't, though, because their application fee was like $100. I'm like, I'm not doing that to a school I probably won't get into.
Classism.
Yeah, I know. It's awful. But hey, thank God for Wesleyan. They let me come in with a 2.0. I appreciate it.
Fuck yes, Wesleyan!
Uh-huh. It's been good.
Fuck that.
Yeah. So I think we'll call it a wrap right there. What do you say? Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Uh-huh. Thanks for being on the podcast. I hope you had a great time.
Thanks for having me, buddy. I had a great time.
Of course. You may or may not be on again in the future if I ever run out of guests, or if I ever want to interview your really cool Kenosha friends if I ever am around there.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
That would be super, super lit, and they would definitely want to do that. And everybody in this house is definitely going to want to do that.
Oh, I bet. And I plan to talk to all of them at some point. And maybe, hopefully, we can all talk together at some point. That would be fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming to the Thanks for Coming podcast. Have a good day. Don't go to Mars. And peace out.
Peace.
Yeah.